Swan diving in sun salutations. Good cue, bad cue, should you, shouldn't you? In this video, we're going to break it down. We're going to look at what that cue actually does in the body and whether or not it is a good idea. Okay, friends, so we've all heard this cue in yoga class. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. So what exactly is happening in that swan dive? Well, a swan dive is a way of kind of inviting people to make this shape. So in this shape, you'll notice that my spine is moving into a position of extension or back bending, and oftentimes I can extend my arms behind me, right? It's like a big swan dive, right? So I'm bringing the arms into abduction, but also a little bit of extension. Now, why this cue probably started is because we had students who were doing inhale, reach your arms up, exhale, forward fold, right? And rounding and flexing their spine in order to come down. So someone got the idea of saying, hey, swan dive, and that will counteract and create a feeling of space and openness. The problem with most yoga cues is when things go too far, right? So as often happens in our yoga teaching, sometimes there will be a cue which has a good intention, but when fully done, literally can take people in the wrong direction. So here's the thing. When we're doing a forward fold, oftentimes, unless you're doing a round down, which check out my other video on the benefits of neutral spine versus rounding down for more information on that. But in this one, I'm gonna assume what we're actually looking for is a neutral spine. So we're looking for inhale, lift your arms up, exhale, forward fold. We're looking for hinging from the hips, first of all, rather than rounding from the spine, and looking for a nice long spine. So if you have someone who is stiff and rounding, then sure, maybe that swan dive could help get them in that position. However, if you have flexible students who have a lot of spinal extension, what you're gonna wind up getting is people in this position, right? And this isn't great. This can be some compression on the lower back, which doesn't always feel great. Also, it takes the shoulders behind you, which isn't really the best position for the shoulders anyway. So rather than teaching to swan dive, I would probably suggest that you actually teach your students what neutral spine means. So inhale, reaching your arms up, hinge from your hips with a nice long spine, exhale and forward fold, and then round, right? So that swan dive, I don't love the position for the shoulders, first of all, and I don't love what it does to the low back for our more flexible students. But I think it's really important for us to understand, where did swan dive come from? Swan dive came from a desire to get students out of flexion of the spine and rounding down and kind of hunching over, desire to be like more expansive and create space. Great, awesome, but let's maybe just tell them that. Also, the thing about the swan diving is with the arms behind you, I don't love that experience. You really want to keep your arms maybe even slightly in front of you for those shoulder blades to be in a nice place to bring the arms down. The arms never need to be behind you when we're doing that forward fold, right? So I'm inhaling my arms up, exhaling, forward folding. Sure, take the arms out to the side, but let's not let them float back behind us and crunch the shoulder blades if we're looking for a nice neutral spine. So you guys, there you go. There is the cue swan dive, what it was probably designed to address, what it can actually do in the body when we literally do the swan dive, and maybe an alternative, maybe neutral hips, and maybe you have to take some time once every, 6 weeks to actually have students bring their hands to their hips, find their hips, figure out how they can find a long spine when they forward fold, and break down that transition. We are allowed to do that. We don't always have to flow, flow, flow. So there you go. If that was helpful, awesome. If you have thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. Maybe you love swan dive for a reason I am not thinking of. Please put it down there. Let us know your thoughts. We want to hear from you. And of course, as always, subscribe for more tips if this was helpful.